Mostly doing this just to get back into the whole video editing side of things. It's been a minute, but I also want to draw attention to this game. So here we go. Right, this is Snowbreak Containment Zone. It is on Steam, as you can see here, and the reason for the current mixed reviews is because it is a Chinese game. And China has some pretty serious censorship rules. However, what a lot of people don't realise is this game actually has two versions. You'll download the Chinese version by default, but if you're using Steam, go into your Steam directory, scroll to the bottom, and you will see this lovely little localization.txt file. It's right at the bottom of all where your Steam games are. Open that up and you'll see localization equals 0. Change that to a 1, press save, and ta-da, no more weird Chinese censorship. And just in case that's still not enough for you, let's just say Nexus Mods has you covered. That's like the top row of mods. How you actually mod this game, honestly, I actually have no idea, because at one point I do plan on streaming it and I don't want to get 1, banned, 2, put on a register. So if this introduction hasn't caught your interest, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, what is Snowbreak Containment Zone? Well, for a start, it is a Chinese gacha game. It is. It's free to play. I have bought the season pass, which was like £8. So in terms of like gacha game cost, this is like one of the cheaper ones that I've come across. I am a fan of the Asian gacha games, sad to say. At its core though, it is a third-person shooter. You will have characters, you build a team of 3, they have active roles as well as passive roles. You have to synergize these active and passive roles with each other to get a more functioning, higher profile team, and each member of the team will be limited in what they are actually able to do. For example, the team that you can see on screen now, it is Cirrus Kasana, who is thermal damage and can only use a shotgun. She builds a shield, which you can see now, as well as she throws stars at people. The character below her is Life Wild Hunt. She's SMG. She throws snow missiles at people as well as can also CC them. And the character below her is Feral Cloud Chen Xing, who, if you are a fan of Division, she basically is just built-in Negotiator's Dilemma. But she uses it through electricity. So she can damage one enemy, which causes electricity to spark and damage other enemies, and then she basically calls down a meteor strike. She is an AR user, so I've got shotgun, SMG, and AR. You can't actually change these, which is kind of weird, but also for the purpose of balance is actually really good. The focus of the game is more around skills than gunplay, but you have to build up synergy. Now, annoyingly, I've not played this game long enough to actually have enough characters to have any form of synergy going, so you'll have to forgive that at the moment. Maybe one day when I'm a little bit longer in the tooth with this game, I can potentially start to show. Anyway, this is a game that I've been thoroughly enjoying lately, and when I was having a bit of a difficult time with the whole housing and money and everything, this is one of the games that I ended up playing a fair amount of. There is an absolute metric ton to do in this game. There is honestly so much. There's regular updates and events. It's got a pretty loyal fan base. It is obviously going to be more geared towards those that are a bit more of an anime fan, as it is a complete waifu collector. Pretty much every character in this game is female, and there's two reasons for that. One, the Chinese fan base kind of like have the priority. The Western audience fan base do have their voices and opinions heard, and there is a lot of action being taken on that with updates, etc, etc. One of the main reasons we have this localization file in the first place is because Western audiences complained, so whenever the devs put out a new update, there's always two versions of it, one for the localization of China and one for literally everywhere else. So they absolutely do pay attention to both sides of the audience. However, Fun fact for you, did you know game development companies in China can actually get in trouble for putting too many male characters in their game? Because female characters sell better. Yeah. Now, one thing I actually weirdly do like about this game, and this is going to seem a little bit ruthless, but different culture, etc, etc, and after playing Division 2 with its many, many bugs for God knows how long, this is kind of a weirdly nice change of pace. In one of the latest updates, version 2.3, which is what this game is currently in now, there was a bug. They found who was responsible for that bug, and they fired them. The staff members responsible for the content creation and review process that led to the negative issues in version 2.3 will be dismissed. That's in the active patch notes for the game, in-game, that all players can access. Which, like I said, is a bit ruthless because someone's just lost their job over a mistake. But at the same time, I'm kind of so bored of just seeing games and game devs getting away with whatever they want. That is against the consumer, and we just have to deal with it. Whereas this game is like, no, we know full well that doing steps 1, 2, and 3 will generate the most money. So you will stick with steps 1, 2, and 3. And if you don't do that, you're fired. And I think it's just, yeah, it's kind of refreshing to see a game actually, or a game development team actually take its game development actually seriously. Right, so pros and cons of this game, kind of like a small review. Like I said, this is something that I've just been enjoying. Pros, it's pretty to look at, and I know some of you are going to be looking at me going, yeah, I'm an anime fan. I have been for God knows how long. I like games within that art style. I find them fun and engaging. And to be honest, I am one of those people that regardless of what game I play, I will typically play as the female model. Simply because I feel like if I'm going to be staring at someone's arse all day, I'd rather it be a woman's than a guy's. So, yeah. I'm not one of the weirdos that's just weirdly sexually attracted to anime characters. Yeah, I'm working on it. The overall gameplay loop of this game is very, very fun, at least for me. The visuals and the stylization of it kind of give like an impactful feel, and the overall customizations in which you're able to do with like builds and etc is varied enough for it to be interesting, but it's not overly complex of where there's like 1,000,001 different content creators telling you different things. The game literally will say recommended for X thing and you just put it on. But if you want to experiment with other things, you're welcome to do so. It's very, very chill, and it's not really that strenuous. Technically, for what you're watching on screen now, I'm about 6 levels below the recommended, and I'm still getting through it just fine. So it's not like it's going to be an absolute hard-ass grind to play the game, so it's just nice and chill. That being said, the game is tiered. So like depending on what you do, you can get better or more rewards. If you want to push for a higher level of completion, more points, etc. So that when the event is over, you can get a higher tier of reward depending on what percentage bracket you fall in. I normally fall in around like 10, 15, sometimes the 20% bracket. But you do get some players that really, really like to push for those 1% brackets, which obviously will get you more rewards. All of the characters are on rotations, much like basically every gacha game, and it is more than achievable to play this game very, very, very easily without spending a penny. Very easy. All I've done so far is bought the season pass. Literally it. You can do it through Steam. Like I said earlier, for a gacha game, this is one of the cheaper ones. The season pass was like £8. Normally they're like 15 to 20 quid for the season pass. This was 8. So very, very easily one of the cheaper gacha games out on the market. Downsides, it is still a gacha game for a start. I'm fully aware not a lot of people are going to be on board. Another downside is, again, for me it's a pro, the visualizations of it. It's anime styled and it is quite sexualized. Everything jiggles. When there isn't an event up, there's not really actually anything to do unless you've got any of the story left. And what you're about to watch now is actually just the average mission within the story. They're not very compelling or noteworthy. They don't take very long at all. I've literally just started. I'm over halfway through already, and you're about to literally watch the mission complete screen come up. 3, 2, 1, and we are done. That's like it. So the overall dynamic of the game through the story is quite limited, although the story is there to just help build up experience, as well as get you practicing certain team synergies, as well as there's a lot of trial characters going through the story, so that when a character is on rotation, you can actively see like, oh, I didn't like that one, I'll skip that one and wait for the next one, see what that is. Oh, I like that one. It just allows you to build up a bit more in-game currency that normally with gacha games you obviously have to pay for. You can pay for, but this game does give you a healthy amount through just general play, through its events, through going through the story, to actually be able to get these characters when they come on rotation relatively easily. And there's 2 style of banners for it. You've got the 100% banner, which is takes longer but you're guaranteed, or you've got the 50% banner, which doesn't take as long but you're not guaranteed. In short, the game literally revolves around its events, but luckily they are up pretty damn often. Resources. It's a gacha game. Of course, resources are an absolute ball ache. This one isn't actually as heavy as others that I have come across or have played, but they still can be annoying. So if you are new to gacha games, don't fuck with the resources. Just don't do it. Just save yourself the trouble. Just save yourself the trouble. Or at the very least, wait until you're a lot further into the end game before you start messing with the resources, simply because you're going to want to just focus on at least 1 or 2 characters, get them up and running first properly into the end game, and once you've done that fully and you can start deviating and messing around with resources and other characters, that's when you'd want to do it. Don't try and get to the end game with like 7 characters fully maxed out, because you will be there all year. You'll do your own head in. You'll just be so over it. But this is more of a gacha game thing rather than a negative of this game itself. The next point is actually one that I have with anime in general, and it's one of the ones that, if you know Toasty, we've had several conversations about this a few times, and it's one I generally agree with. It's called lolicon. It's an anime term. Basically what a lolicon is it looks like a child, but it's like a 600-year-old demon. But it looks like a child. That is present in this game. They're not 600-year-old demons. The game actively tells you all of the ages of all of the characters in the game. The youngest being 18, the oldest being 27. That being said, there's a few 19-year-olds that you would genuinely put money on them being like 14 years old. And of course there's revealing outfits for them. This is just an Asian thing, it's a culture thing, but some people are uncomfortable with that sort of thing. That includes me, and I'm an anime fan, so yeah, go figure. Anyway, yeah, that's Snowbreak Containment Zone. It is free to play, it is on Steam. Maybe check it out if you want something different to do. All that's going to happen is you'll waste your own time. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.